a concert and it's like punk rock music or something, and the kids get on stage and they jump into the crowd. It's called stage diving, right? Some people think that's dangerous, but not me, because humans are made out of 95% water. So the audience is 5% away from a pool.
Hey, welcome back. We're back with a comedian. Why? Because we need to laugh as much as we need to learn. And we get a lot of stress, so this helps kind of like eliminate a lot of it. And it's healthy for you. Laughter, the best medicine. Welcome, Mitch Hedberg.
Hey, how you doing, Barry?
Good to see you.
Good.
After that Letterman stint, I saw you a couple times on Letterman, right?
Yeah, I just did it for the third time a couple days ago.
Third time?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about this. Take me through your background, where you grew up, and kind of I think what, at age 12 was your first appearance on the stage?
On stage, yeah. I was going to say I appeared at 0, but, you know, I mean, my first stage appearance was 12, man. But, you know, when you were doing that thing at the beginning of the show where you're talking about my story, man, it sounded way more inspirational than I ever thought it was, man. I kind of got tears in my eye for a minute there. I realized things are going pretty good for me, you know?
Well, you accomplished a lot. Talk about when you were a cook for years and how you made that transition.
Well, I used to be really infatuated with the grill when I was a busboy. I would watch these guys cook, and then, you know, I achieved my dream of becoming a cook, which was really easy because all I had to do is tell the manager, "Hey, man, do you mind if I cook?" And he said, "Yeah." You know, it was real simple to achieve that dream.
No, it's really a good point.
Is that cool? But so I actually thought, you know, cooking might be what I wanted to do for a while, you know. But then, since, like you said, at 12, I was performing, I was acting a lot. Like we would copy Saturday Night Live skits on SCTV. You know that show?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, man, like Bob and Doug McKenzie. Remember them characters? They had that great movie called Strange Brew. But we would just copy those skits and we would make our friends laugh. And of course, there's nothing like standing in front of people and making them laugh as long as you're trying to. You know, I mean, if they're laughing at you for the wrong reasons, it kind of sucks.
Now, this was in your basement, or it was with your neighborhood friends, right?
Yeah, in my parents' basement, because my parents were the ones who would always let the kids come over and mess up the house for the day. And we would put on these skits, and everyone was talented, but now no one does anything in the talent industry except me. I'm the only one who survived through the years, man, through the lean years. You know, they all gave it up when times got tough. They were like 15, and they said, no more of this, you know.
Tell me about that, because every time I had, you know, you have Don Rickles we had on, we had different comedians from all different backgrounds, and they had many years of adversity where they were not making it, they were getting rejected.
Right.
Why is that important to go through that, and what did you learn?
Oh, because it builds you, you know, it makes your skin tough, you know, and rejection is real tough at first, but after a while you kind of thrive on it. It's an energy in itself just to get rejected.
Talk about that.
Well, because you want to prove people that, you know, they're wrong, man. Like when I first started doing comedy, people would try to tell me how to dress, and they would try to tell me what kind of jokes to do, and they wanted me to go to like a stand-up comedy class and have some other guy tell me how to be funny, you know, man. And funny is natural, you know. You can't learn how to be funny, you know. You can learn how to say a joke in a certain rhythm, but you can't learn how to be funny. And I knew that, but these people were trying to tell me, you got to come to class, and we'll tell you like how to present yourself and everything, and all that. Go ahead.
No, so believing inside, not letting them try to change the outside of you.
Right. Because this one lady at one point, she gave me advice. I got a lot of advice in the early days of my comedy, and one lady told me to wear a lot of jewelry on stage, you know, because she thought like I wanted to attract the crowd, you know, just with my jewelry, you know. They'd be so excited that I had this like brooch on or something. They forget that I'm funny, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of advice comes from people who aren't very funny. They've adapted ways to like remain working because they're real professional. They always wear a suit and tie, you know. So a lot of advice I was getting was from comics who weren't that good in it. I never could take it, you know what I'm saying? But I knew that I had like a different thing to say to them, so I had to chill out and just ride out the bad times like that.
So, but you talk about rejection, being able to take, makes you stronger, proving other people wrong. That's a real important point. A lot of people, that devastates them.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a situation where you just bombed?
Where I bombed on stage? Oh, many situations, man. Pluralize that immediately, because I bombed endlessly. You know, I used to tour Montana and Idaho and Oregon to these one-nighter bars. I'd go from bar to bar, and I'd be the opening act of a 2-man show. And the guy going on last would always kill. I would always bomb horribly. Then the next guy would go on. He'd have a lot of jokes about like genitalia and such, which the crowds kind of wanted to hear. They liked that stuff. But I didn't have any of those jokes, so I was bombing. But the only good thing about that is a lot of times these towns would be loaded with kind of like scary-looking women, and the scary-looking women would always ask the funnier guy to dance. So I never had to dance. You know, it was cool.
There's always something good and something bad, right?
Yeah, I just had to sit down because they didn't like me because I wasn't funny, so they didn't want to dance with me. You know. So.
Now, now that adversity helps you? I mean, that's rejection, that's falling. It helps you kind of come back stronger. Do you focus? Do you learn something from that?
Oh, yeah. Well, you just learn that, you know, you got to get the hell out of here and find your right. You got to find your audience, man. The adversity is like, you just got to keep searching for your audience is what it does. It just makes you search harder is what it does.
That's good.
Yeah.
When we come back, I want to talk about, you know, why you believe that jumping in, even though maybe you're not 100% prepared, is more important than preparing and never doing anything, obviously.
Oh, that's so true, man. Yeah, you got to, like, learn while doing, right?
That's the only way to learn. You got books, tapes, all this stuff, and people, but once you do it yourself, that's the real.
You can't have a good job. In order to make it in stand-up comedy, you can't already have a good job. That's the biggest downfall.
Really?
Yeah, because you don't care then. You don't care about it. You're already making enough money, so the drive ain't there. You got to, like, be in a job that's worse than anything you want. That'll keep you wanting to do it, you know.
Well, we'll come back.